Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate your time and your attention throughout this video. I'm Kathleen from Wanderers Wealth, and I help digital nomads, location-independent business owners, online entrepreneurs, and expat families with their international tax strategies. In today's video, I want to cover the topic of second citizenship. I know the concept of second citizenship can be quite foreign to some people, especially if you have lived and worked, you were born and you grew up in one and the same country, then maybe the concept of second citizenship might be quite foreign to you. However, in my personal circumstances, I am quite used to hearing about second citizenship. If you didn't know, I come from a very intercultural background. I was actually born in Mexico to a Mexican mother. My father is Italian, but he was already born in Switzerland. We moved as a family when I was very young over to Switzerland. And then I moved to Australia about 7 years ago. And for the last 2 years, I've been living a very nomadic lifestyle, moving from one country to the next country. So the concept of second citizenship is really not that foreign to me. And having multiple passports has allowed me to travel to several countries without having to pay any fees. If you ask me what some of the benefits are or why you should be thinking about second citizenship, is simply to diversify your portfolio. If you only have one passport, that basically means that you're gonna be able or have to put all your eggs in one basket, meaning put all your assets into one country. I'm really a big fan of asset diversification throughout the entire globe if you want, but having access to several countries may be very beneficial. Maybe in the future you would like to buy some property overseas or invest in a different economy that is growing at a very fast pace. Or maybe you would like to invest into a different market or simply have more opportunities available to you and also be able to have more freedom of movement. Whatever the reason might be that you're thinking about a second citizenship, I will list in this video 4 different ways that you can obtain a second citizenship. Now, the first way that you can obtain and the easiest way to obtain second citizenship is through Ancestry or by descent. So really you want to be looking at, do you have a grandfather, a grandmother that used to live in another country? Quite a few countries actually give you access to second citizenship through Ancestry. There's, for example, Ireland, Italy, very common one. You've got Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Germany, Hungary, Greece. So there's so many countries, especially within Europe, quite a few, which will also give you access to the Schengen zone, meaning that you will have freedom of movement within 27 countries. So very beneficial, especially if you're outside the EU, to look into where are your ancestors from and would there be any possibility for you to get access to a second citizenship through your grandma, your granddad, or any other heritage line that you have. A lot of people do it. There will be a bit of involvement from your side on administration processes, such as collecting all the documents that you need. You will also have to dig a little bit into family history, and you also need to come up with a little bit of patience, especially when you deal with government offices with certain of those countries. But is it worth it? In my opinion, definitely yes, because it's almost like a free ticket into another country that is just there whenever you want to access it. You never know what the future might hold. You might want to travel there. You might want to buy some property there, invest in the market. It might start to be a really great and beneficial market that it's going to grow further even in the future. So then you just have the option available to you. Especially during these times that we're currently in, I have seen so many people that just simply wanted to have a second option available to them in order to be able to move. We've noticed that many different countries have actually closed their borders, and if you didn't have a valid residency permit or a passport from that country, then you weren't granted any access into that country. So we've seen many relationships that had to suffer because of that, because people weren't holding the right residency permits or didn't have passport, that they had to be separated. So again, this could be another cause why you want to make sure that you've got a second citizenship, even if before you didn't feel the urgency to have it. It simply could be another option that's available to you. Now, the second way how you can obtain citizenship is through economic investment. What do I mean by that? So certain countries will actually grant you citizenship if you've got some money that is ready to be invested. You need at least something around $100,000, and it definitely varies between countries how much investment you need to come up with, but at least $100,000. And contrary to popular belief, it's not just Caribbean islands that will offer you citizenship by investment. It's also a few European countries that will grant you citizenship if you're willing to come up with a certain amount of investment within the country. What do I mean by investment within the country? So sometimes is to either make an investment in real estate or government funds, national bonds. Anything that's really going to go into the government's pockets will be eligible. And again, it really depends on different countries. Different countries have different eligibility requirements and different options of where you can put your money and how long you need to hold it for, and all of those different criteria. Some of the countries that offer citizenship by investment are Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, Malta, which is within Europe. Again, very interesting option for those who don't have access to the Schengen zone. Montenegro, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and a couple more. So again, quite a few countries that give you the option to obtain second citizenship if you're ready and willing to invest some money. But also think it this way: if you are planning on making a bigger investment, if you are planning on buying some property and making that investment, why not make it into a country that is gonna also pair your investment with a second citizenship? Something you may want to consider. And then the next step, how you could potentially get a second citizenship, is citizenship by residency. I would say that's one of the more common ones, the one that feels more natural, I guess. Second citizenship by residency means simply that you're actually willing and ready to physically move to another country and stay there for a long enough period until you're able and eligible to apply for citizenship. And it really depends. In some countries, that can be after only having a residency permit of 2 years, that then you become eligible for a citizenship application. In other countries, you actually need to have lived 5 years there before you become eligible for citizenship. And the requirements are very different again. In a lot of countries, actually, you even have to sit a language test and show that you're immersed within the country, that you're really part of the country, you know something about the history and the culture before you're able to apply for citizenship. Other times, if you marry a local, that will give you a much more faster access to citizenship. So in some cases, instead of having to wait 5 years, you marry a local person, you'll get access to citizenship within 2 years. And that can also be the case sometimes if your grandparents were from that country. That will also give you fast track access to citizenship. Again, it really very much depends on the country that you're dealing with. And then the next category, the last category, how you can get access to citizenship, is through birth. So if you were born in certain countries, you get automatically access to a citizenship or a passport. One of the more popular ones, or that are very commonly known in the US, if you were born in the US, you get access to a US passport and you have US citizenship. If you were born in Mexico, the same thing, you get access to a Mexican passport. If you were born in Peru, same thing. There's like around 30 countries where if you were born there, you get access to citizenship. Now, another little twist to that is there are very limited amount of countries that will actually give you citizenship if you as a parent have your child in that country. I believe Brazil and Argentina might be one of those countries that if as a parent you fly to Brazil and you have your child in Brazil, you as the parent will also get access to a second citizenship within that country. So whether or not you want to plan giving birth to a child around that or not, that is completely up to you, but the options are around and available. As you can see, the concept of having a second citizenship doesn't become that far-fetched anymore when there are so many different paths that you can go down. Again, you can obtain second citizenship by Ancestry, which is one of the most easiest way. You simply need to collect the required documents and forms to fill out. There's a bit of process involved in it. Another way that you can go down is citizenship by economic investment, if you're ready and willing and have the liquidity in your hands to invest into a certain country. And the third one is citizenship by residency, where you're willing and want to physically relocate to another country and getting to know that country, live there for a little bit until you're eligible to apply for citizenship. And the last one is citizenship by birth. Maybe not your birth anymore because you were already born, but double check if where you were born you could get access to a citizenship like in my case, or you plan on having your child in another country to be able to get access to another citizenship. So those are the most common ways of how to get citizenship. Again, we can make up so many different scenarios when it also comes to marriage. And if you want to go and marry a foreigner, how much of a faster track you can go down in order to obtain citizenship more quickly. But there are so many different variables. Definitely double check the requirements. And if you want to discuss this further, happy for you to reach out to us and tell us a little bit about your story, and we could tell you more about what options are currently available to you. So I hope this has made sense. I hope the concept of second citizenship doesn't seem that foreign to you anymore. I definitely kind of grew up with it. As I said to you, I was very lucky to be born into an intercultural family, and it's been very natural for me to have second citizenship from birth. So, and I hope you've also understood that it comes with a lot of opportunities, especially when you don't know what the future is holding or what your future economic opportunities might bring for you. If you've learned anything new during this video, if you had an aha moment, let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear your current circumstances or how you have obtained second citizenship. I know quite a few people within the community have done it and would love to hear your stories around it. And also don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and hit that bell button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for your attention. Bye, guys.
Like the cool